Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of the 22nd of September 2022. Essence: Sweet children, whenever you have time, earn a true income. Staying in remembrance of the Father while walking, moving around and performing actions is the basis of earning a true income. There is no difficulty in this. Question: what are the signs of children who have been enlightened by knowledge? Answer: when they are enlightened with knowledge, their physical senses become cool. All mischief ends, and their stage becomes constant and stable. Their manners continue to be reformed. Question: what is the result of your intellect not having accurate remembrance of Shiv Baba? Answer: one sinful action or another is definitely performed. The intellect doesn't work even to the extent of making you realize that you are performing sinful actions. Because of disobeying the Father's orders, you continue to be deceived. Song: at last the day for which we had been waiting has come. Om Shanti. Now you children have the assurance that the unlimited Father has come. Krishna cannot be called the unlimited Father. The song was composed by the people who wrote the drama (film). They call Krishna Maharaj Dhiraj (Emperor). The Father says, I don't become that, I make you that. Therefore, one good meaning or another emerges from this song. The unlimited Father is definitely the Lord of the poor. The Bharat that he made wealthy has now become poor. It is in Bharat that his birth takes place. His birth is not remembered anywhere else. Although every nation worships him and has an image of him, his birth takes place here. Similarly, Christ's birth takes place elsewhere, but his images also exist here. Therefore, Bharat is said to be the birthplace of God the Father. People don't understand anything. They simply say that God is omnipresent. Previously, you too didn't know anything. You now know that Bharat is the birthplace of the Purifier, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. People do believe that God is beyond birth and death. Yes, he is definitely beyond death because he doesn't have a body of his own, but he does take birth. The Father says, I have come and my birth is divine. All human beings take birth through a womb and grow from small to large. I don't grow like that. Yes, Krishna does enter the womb of his mother and grows large from small. Every soul enters the womb of his mother and takes birth. This refers to human beings. It is human beings who become poverty-stricken and human beings who become crowned. Bharat was double-crowned in the Golden Age. There are the symbols of purity. There were crowns, halos of purity, and also crowns studded with jewels. When they lost their purity, they were left with just one crown. They had been the masters of the world. Then, while taking rebirth, they lost one crown and became those with a single crown. These are matters of knowledge. Because of becoming worshippers from being worthy of worship, they lost a crown. Kings continued to become impure, and they continued to worship the pictures of the pure Sun and Moon dynasty kings who existed in the past. Those who were pure and worthy of worship then became worshippers. They are the ones who had to take 84 births. The Bharat that was worthy of worship yesterday has today become a worshipper. From being poor and a worshipper, it has to become wealthy and worthy of worship. It is now so poor. There were so many palaces in heaven. Even the temples were studded with so many diamonds and jewels. Therefore they would have built their palaces even more beautifully. You are now so poor. From poor, you are now once again becoming wealthy. You children have to make effort. You are shown ways to do this every day. Whatever time you have available, earn this income by having remembrance. There are many types of work in which you don't need to use your intellect. In some tasks you do have to use your intellect. So when you have time and you go and tour around, etc., stay in remembrance of the Father. You have to earn a great deal of this income. This is real income. All the rest is false income for a temporary period. You children receive these teachings at this time. You know that you have to claim your unlimited inheritance from the unlimited Father. There is no difficulty in this. You are not made to leave your households and families. He simply says, "Children, don't indulge in vice." It is generally because of this that there is fighting. There isn't such fighting in other spiritual gatherings. There they simply say, it is true," to whatever they hear, and then go home. It is here that there is fighting. There will definitely be obstacles from the devils in this sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. Innocent ones are assaulted just as they have shown for Draupadi. They call out, "Baba, save me from being stripped." The Father's teachings are, never allow yourself to be stripped. When your stage becomes constant and stable, your physical senses will become cool. Until then, there will be some mischief or other. While you are enlightened with knowledge, let your intellects have the awareness that you have to live as companions. Abroad, many old people are in the stage of retirement. If they don't have any children, they think, who will be heir at the end? Therefore, they adopt a companion in later life. They leave something to that one before they pass away. You don't read the newspapers. Lots of news is given in the newspapers. You children don't have to read those things. The Father says, it is good if you haven't studied anything. Forget whatever you have studied until now. The Father teaches us so that we earn a true income and become the masters of the world. The Father says, Hear no evil, see no evil. This applies to you. You children are now becoming worthy of being in a temple. You have found the Father, the ocean of knowledge, and so you have to listen to Him alone. What need is there for you to listen to other people? When people go to their teachers or gurus, do their gurus tell them not to indulge in vice? They don't give teachings to become pure. When someone has disinterest, he leaves his home and family and runs away. The Father, who is Shiva, the teacher, places the urn of knowledge on the heads of you mothers. Where would Lakshmi come from in this impure world? Lakshmi and Narayan exist in the golden age. Shiv Baba now sits here and explains to you through this one. Shiva, the teacher, speaks through the mouth of Brahma. You truly do open the gates of heaven, and so you will definitely become the masters. You open the gates to heaven, that is, you are making effort to become residents of heaven. Your efforts are to make human beings who are residents of hell into residents of heaven. The Father also does the service of making impure ones pure. Your business is the same as the Father's business, making souls into residents of heaven. Everyone wants heaven. When someone dies, others say that that person has gone to heaven. You should ask them, since that person has gone to heaven, why do you call him back to hell and feed the Brahmin priest, etc.? That is the darkness of ignorance. You take food from here to the subtle region to feed them, because you know that it is pure food. That person has died, and so he would not receive pure food. Some write, Baba, offer food to such and such a person, so that that soul can receive pure food. It is remembered that even deities loved Brahma Bhojan. Your gathering truly does take place in the subtle region. It isn't that going into trance is good, no. Yoga isn't going into trance, and going into trance isn't yoga. The Father says, connect your intellects in yoga with me, and your sins will be absolved. People go to Vaikuntha, paradise, in trance and perform a dance, but that is not earning an income. They cannot listen to the Murli. Offering bhog to departed spirits is a system that has been created according to the drama. There is the difference of day and night between the customs and systems of people and those of the Brahmins of the confluence age. You go from here and feed them in the subtle region. Until people understand these things, they will continue to have doubts. We would say that, according to the drama, it was not in their fortune, and so they had doubts and left. There is nothing to worry about. It just wasn't in their fortune. They forget the first thing, that they have to claim their inheritance from the Father. Their intellects develop doubts in something or other. We are only concerned with our inheritance. Why should we stop studying? You have to listen to the Murli. How would the incorporeal Father give you directions? He definitely needs a mouth. You have to hear knowledge from the mouth of Brahma or those of the Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris. Some people live outside, far away, and they don't even receive Murlis. However, the Father says it doesn't matter. Simply stay in remembrance and spin the discus of self-realization. You have received this Srimat from the Father. No matter where you are on a battlefield. The Father explains to those in the military, you have to do that service. That is your business. You have to look after the cities. You have made an agreement and receive a salary. Therefore you have to look after them. You have the aim in your intellect. The unlimited Father is the creator of heaven. He says, children, stay in remembrance of me and your sins will be absolved. Eat while in remembrance of Shiv Baba and the food you eat will be purified. You also have to take precautions as much as possible. In desperate circumstances, eat in remembrance of Baba. This requires effort. Knowledge is not called a battle. Only in remembrance does a battle take place. Only by having remembrance will your sins be absolved. When you consider yourselves to be souls, Maya will not slap you, and you won't become body conscious. You continue to remember bodies, for you have forgotten about souls. This is why you are asked, do you know who the Father of all souls is? Write down his name, form, land and time period. They write a variety of things in reply to this. Some write that the Father of souls is Hanuman, and some write something else. There is so much ignorance. It is then explained, souls are incorporeal and your guru is corporeal. How could the father of an incorporeal one be corporeal? Everything depends on how you explain in practice. Together with that, you also need good manners. There are many who speak very well. The arrow strikes others very well. Because some don't have any manners, there is no progress. There has to be very good remembrance. Some relate knowledge very well, but they have no yoga at all. It isn't that knowledge cannot be imbibed without yoga. It is imbibed anyway. For instance, when you are relating the history and geography to someone, that very quickly enters your intellect. Nothing of Baba's remembrance would be in your intellect at that time. Some even eat meat and drink alcohol. That is just a story, and it is easy to remember that. The history and geography are in your intellect. There is no question of remembrance in that. There is even no question of purity in that. There are many like that. When you don't remember Shiv Baba, your sins are not absolved. You then continue to perform even more sin. It doesn't even enter your intellects enough to realize that that is a sin. It is a great sin to disobey orders. Shiv Baba orders you to do this. If you disobey him, you would be deceived a great deal. However, it is very easy to relate the history and geography. Baba has explained that you can go and explain in schools. Say, You study limited history and geography here. You don't study the unlimited history and geography. Tell us where the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan went to. Where did the sun and moon dynasties that existed before go? Who snatched away their kingdom? Who attacked them? Only you children know how this cycle turns. If you explain this to others for 7 days, it would sit in their intellects. However, some don't have those manners. It isn't that by indulging in vice they would forget the history and geography. Yoga is the main thing. It is in yoga that Maya deceives you. You have to become full of all virtues here. Some make a promise and are then unable to remain firm on it. Maya is very powerful. They don't remember the Father fully, and so their sins are not absolved. Instead, they continue to perform doubly sinful actions. They aren't aware of anything. Even when they are told about it, they are unable to understand it. You children know that the Father is the Lord of the poor. He is the merciful one. He explains to us children in particular and the world in general. We in particular go to the land of happiness, and everyone in general goes to the land of liberation. In the Golden Age, there truly was the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Then there was the Moon dynasty, and after them those of Islam and the Buddhists, etc. came. Therefore the original eternal deity religion disappeared. Go and see the banyan tree in Calcutta. There is no foundation, and yet the whole tree is standing. It is like that here too. Establishment is taking place once again. Acha. To the sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana. 1. Don't develop doubts about anything and thereby stop studying. Remember the Father and the inheritance. 2. Listen to the one Father alone. Forget everything else that you have studied. Hear no evil, see no evil, talk no evil. Blessing. May you be constantly happy and carefree, and remain protected from any shadow of Maya by staying under the canopy of the Father's protection. The way to protect yourself from Maya's shadow is to stay under Father's canopy of protection. To stay under this canopy of protection means to remain happy. Hand over all your worries to the Father. Those who lose their happiness and become weak definitely have Maya's shadow over them, because any weakness invokes Maya. If Maya casts her shadow over you, even in your dreams, you will continue to be distressed and will have to battle. So stay constantly under the Father's canopy of protection. Remembrance is the canopy of protection. Slogan. Those who have love for the Murli are Master Murli Das. Om Shanti.